In the early 1990s, Deborah Blando emerged as a powerful new voice in the international pop scene. Born in Italy and raised in Brazil, she brought a unique cultural fusion to her music. Her multilingual abilities and melodic tone positioned her as a rare crossover artist with both European and Latin American appeal. Signed to Virgin Records, one of the most powerful labels in the world at the time, she was immediately marketed for global success. Her debut international album, A Different Story, released in 1991, was entirely in English. It featured high-end production by names associated with global hits, and it was backed by a strong international campaign. The lead single, Innocence, became a surprise hit in Europe, especially in countries like Germany, Switzerland, and Norway. It climbed the charts, received heavy rotation on MTV, and even gained traction in Asian and Latin American markets. For a Brazilian artist singing in English, this kind of reception was almost unprecedented. Blando toured extensively, performing on major European TV shows and radio programs. She was labeled as one of the most promising pop acts of the decade. Her image, carefully crafted by Virgin's marketing team, was aligned with the era's standards of global pop stardom. She had the looks, the voice, and the industry behind her. But soon after her initial success, her international career trajectory began to unravel without warning. The follow-up singles did not match the commercial impact of Innocence. Despite the momentum, Virgin Records shifted its priorities. Deborah's second international album was delayed, then eventually shelved. Behind the scenes, she was facing growing personal struggles, including an undiagnosed mental health condition. At the time, the music industry offered little support or understanding regarding mental health issues. Artists were expected to perform and produce without pause. The pressure became unsustainable. While she attempted to continue working, Blando eventually withdrew from international promotion. Her presence in the global music scene diminished quickly. In Brazil, however, she pivoted. She released a Portuguese-language album, Unicamente, in 1997. It was supported by the use of her music in popular Brazilian soap operas, helping her regain national attention. Yet internationally, her name faded from charts, magazines, and radio airwaves. Her absence raised questions. Industry insiders speculated about what went wrong. Some blamed mismanagement. Others pointed to the rapid changes in the music market, where new faces constantly replaced previous ones. There was no official statement, no major scandal, no final farewell performance. She had arrived, captivated millions, and then quietly exited the spotlight. Later interviews and reports revealed that Blando had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The symptoms had begun to interfere with her ability to meet the constant demands of fame. In the 1990s, few artists spoke openly about such conditions, and many were left to deal with them privately. The lack of institutional support and the stigma surrounding mental health contributed to her decision to step away from international music. Today, Deborah Blando is remembered in Brazil as a pop icon of the 1990s. Her voice remains unmistakable, and her early recordings continue to resonate with fans. But her international career stands as a case study in how the global music industry often fails to protect the very artists it promotes. Despite her talent and the initial success of her work, the infrastructure around her could not sustain her path. She did not vanish because of a scandal, controversy, or lack of talent. She vanished because the system was not built to support vulnerability. Deborah Blando's voice enchanted millions. Her disappearance was not dramatic, but it was definitive. In a world where fame is often fleeting and support is conditional, her story remains a clear example of how easily rising stars can fall into silence.